Fast, focused, and fearless. Here are the latest stories at this hour. I'm Diego Castro. Pag-asa continues to monitor Typhoon Inday. Inday was last spotted 570 kilometers east of Itbayat, Batanes. It is packing winds of 140 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 170 kph. The typhoon may pass closest to extreme northern Luzon between tonight and tomorrow. It will then exit the Philippine area of responsibility on Saturday morning. As of 11 a.m., signal number 2 is raised over Batanes and parts of Babuyan Islands and mainland Cagayan. While signal number 1 is up over the rest of Babuyan Islands, the rest of mainland Cagayan, Isabela, Apayao, Kalinga, and Ilocos Norte, as well as parts of Abra, Mountain Province, and Ifugao. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon or habagat will continue to bring rains to parts of the country, including the Visayas and Mindanao. In Mindanao, heavy rains triggered a landslide in Malapatan, Sarangani this morning with a death toll reported at 10. Local disaster responders said the victims were members of two families. They were completely buried when a mudslide engulfed their shared home in Sitio Pandao, Barangay Poblacion. Severe weather has forced over 100 families in the province into evacuation centers. In Bukidnon, a flash flood hit. Local authorities are advising residents in low-lying and mountainous areas to stay alert and seek higher ground. In other news, households in Metro Manila can expect higher electricity bills this month of July. This comes after Meralco announced a 34 centavo per kilowatt-hour increase in rates. The adjustment translates to an additional 69 pesos on this month's bill for a typical household consuming 200 kilowatt-hours. The power distributor attributed the increase to higher generation charges driven by rising fuel prices. President Bongbong Marcos joins the National Commemorative Conference and diplomatic reception. Mobile journalist Jazz Paredes will tell us more. Jazz, go ahead.
Yes, Diego, in a few hours, we will be expecting the arrival of President Bongbong Marcos at the diplomatic reception for the 10th anniversary of the 2016 Arbitral Award. This will be held by the Department of Foreign Affairs, Republic of the Philippines, and it will be with the theme, A Decade Hence, Enduring Promise of Peaceful Dispute Settlement. Just for a quick background, Diego, the South China Sea Arbitral Award was a landmark 2016 ruling by an international tribunal at the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague. It ruled overwhelmingly in favor of the Philippines in a dispute with China, invalidating Beijing's expansive nine-dash line, claims and firmly affirming maritime rights under international law. But Diego, as of now, the event hasn't started yet, and we are expecting it to start at 6 p.m. later. But to recall, Diego, on an event that we attended yesterday, which was held by the WPS Foundation, the Arbitral Award, the commemoration of the 10th anniversary, was also celebrated there. And there were panel discussions, and several personalities were seen arriving to support the commemoration of that Arbitral Award. And aside from that, Diego, talks during the panel discussion were some of the misinformation and political narratives that were still surrounding the Arbitral Award, despite of it being already 10 decades this July 12th. And with that, some of the discussions, or one of the breakthrough discussions, was from global security expert Raymond Powell, where he mentioned a text from a provincial or a state-based media in China claims that the northernmost part of Batanes is part of Taiwan, therefore claiming that it is also owed or within the Chinese or within China. And with that, it said that the Batanes constitutes a natural geographical extension of Taiwan with sovereignty belonging to China, and that the so-called Japan-Philippines territorial limitation negotiations in the area hold no legal basis. And this Diego discussion, or this text, rooted or stemmed from a symposium held last month gathering Chinese academic scholars hosted by Jinan University in Guangzhou. And with that, the symposium came after Japan's decision and the Philippines to begin talks on delimiting their exclusive economic zones and continental shelves east of Taiwan. But that claim is until now no Chinese authority have been claiming or have been announcing the former claim. But according to Powell and experts, they see that this is a lawfare or type of lawfare that is being using by China by completely or informing people, reducing the media. But as of now, there are no formal announcements by the Chinese authorities. But Philippine Coast Guard Rear Admiral Chitariela said it was his first time hearing about the claim. He and already discussed it with the Justice Carpio, and they're figuring out where this misinformation came from. And also, National Defense Secretary Gibo Chodoro also discouraged this kind of claims and wanted to debunk because this has no validity whatsoever. And he said that this could galvanize or this would only contribute to influence many to the country's action, or to say influence other anti-Chinese feeling to China themselves because of these false claims. And with that, Checo, the DFA said that they are rejecting the claims made by these Chinese scholars, and they have said that the country's territorial integrity has long been established and not up for debate. Jago.
All right, thank you for that report, mobile journalist Jas Paredes. In other news, psychologists are calling for stronger mental health and digital literacy following a string of school violence incidents. Mobile journalist Daniel Daya with this report.
As concerns grow over violent incidents involving young people, psychologists are calling for stronger partnerships between schools, teachers, and parents to help identify behavioral changes early and better support children's mental health.
It's partly true and partly false. Kasi hindi lang naman talaga ina-attribute yung pagiging violent or pagiging aggressive ng isang bata sa violent video games. Kailangan nating tignan is the environmental factors ng isang bata. House, home, parents, family members, yung school setting.
According to psychologists, a child's behavior cannot be linked to a single factor alone, as both online or offline environment plays a role in child development. Adding that digital literacy goes beyond screen time, encouraging teachers and parents to teach and lead children in using technology responsibly.
Ang developmental age is tuloy-tuloy naman talaga yan. So ano siya, ang isang environment ng isang bata is nurturing ka agad, sinusuportahan, sinusupervise ka agad. Kung bibigyan nila ang mga anak nila ng mga kanya-kanya nilang gadgets, dapat nagkakaroon tayo ng mga family meeting, nasasabi natin kung hanggang saan ang pwede nilang gawin.
Psychologists also stress the role of teachers in first noticing a student's behavior, saying that early intervention, open communication, and close coordination can help address problems before they escalate.
Doon papasok ang tulong din ng mga teachers or ng school setting kasi sila din ang isa sa mga nakakita ng mga changes of behavior ng mga estudyante. Ikaw na ang mismong mag-i-investigate. Pwedeng hindi mo muna sabihin sa magulang, backed by evidence ka muna, and then when you have that sufficient evidence, then ask the parents anong nangyayari, ano yung behavior sa bahay, or other way around.
Meanwhile, beyond the classroom, psychologists continue to push for greater mental health awareness, saying Filipinos should not hesitate to seek professional help when needed. They also call for stronger support for mental health services, especially to the government.
First and foremost, we have to talk about mental health freely. Wag natin siyang gawing stigma, wag natin siyang gawing kinakahiya ng isang tao. Nalulungkot kami, may mga agencies tayo na hindi talaga fully sinusupport ang mental health.
Kapatid Mobile Journal, Daniel Dayaw, we are One News.
Circling back to our top story, the intense on and off rains we have been experiencing today. Several areas in Metro Manila are reporting floods, including Quezon City and Manila. Now, what you are seeing are images from Manila before 3 this afternoon following showers. Please do drive safely and keep safe and warm this rainy Friday afternoon. Those are the latest news at this hour. More coming your way at 4 p.m. on Storycon. I'm Diego Castro. Kapatid, we are One News, your side all the time.
This is AP News Minute. The United States launched new airstrikes against Iran early Thursday. The U.S. Central Command said it hit about 90 targets. It released video of what appeared to be strikes on an airport runway and missile launchers. Iran responded by targeting Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar. President Donald Trump flew part of the way home from the NATO summit in Turkey on an older Air Force One plane. He switched in England to the new Qatari-gifted Air Force One. The switch raised security questions about the new aircraft. Demonstrators marched through Houston to protest the shooting death of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. He was fatally shot by an immigration and customs enforcement officer. Maine Democrats are planning a convention to pick a new Senate candidate. Graham Plattner announced that he's dropping out of the Senate race. A former girlfriend accused Plattner of sexual assault. Plattner denies it.